money, playing for the team that you know, come on, you're 2012 MVP, and you know how good you are, how great you are. So
yeah, you've been with this team forever. So.
Don't add any other distractions to it, and do what you do best, man. Because I'm rooting for you to see you can actually get 2,500 yards.
He's still a horse. He's still the horse.
He is, yes, exactly. And freaking nature to be.
And now teams aren't going to be able just to key off on him now.
No.
Because they got everything now.
Yeah, and then Teddy is a little running threat as well, too. So
not really.
So
Teddy about as slow as molasses. But they at least got some weapons around them to make everything. He's that black quarterback that's not slow. Or that's not fast. That's Teddy. He's that guy.
All right. So
Teddy's the Byron Leftwich now. Black
Leftwich.
Quarterback, where you don't run fast.
And as far as the Steelers, because I know this is what we're getting reports in from NFL.com and what the progress and I'm sure me and Kevin will do another one here soon and get more training camp reports and everything like that. But Steelers coach, their observations so far is they're pleased with Martavis Bryant's progress.
Wouldn't you be?
Yeah, he's
6'4", 225.
So, yeah, I mean,
I'd be happy if he progressed down the field a little bit more. I'd be like, there you go.
Yeah, he's definitely a good threat to have, and they said right now so far he's doing pretty good. And this is a team that also they replace
Dick LeBeau.
Yeah, so
who has been there for 436 years.
I'm gonna go with that. Close enough.
Yeah, it's close enough.
Yeah, so he's been there a while. So I don't have to know on top of our heads, but yeah, we know. You already know.
He was Jesus as defensive line coach.
So what do you think about the change from him leaving and there? You know what this guy really was.
You had so many people that have coached under him. I'm pretty sure you could find one that's going to come in and use the same system.
Oh yeah. So you intrigued to see what
the key part I'm looking at for them is the first 2 games they're going to have to play without Le'Veon Bell, which we know last year they weren't afraid to air it out because Roethlisberger had a 500-something yard game, and so they're going to be playing that game without them. But they went and signed Denzel Williams, right during the free agency, because I figured they needed a backup running back, and they knew they were going to need somebody to kind of come in and play when Bell's going to be out in the first 2 games. So you got a nice little backup there to rely on.
Their defense slipped off last year too, and noticeably you can watch it because
they were old as dirt.
So it was ranked 18 in NFL, and that's unheard of for the Steelers. And it was more of a philosophy shift with Ben Roethlisberger being the focal point, of course, and Antonio Brown who came in.
Well, their offense had to pick up the slack because their defense, everybody was godforsaken old, and that's what happens when you key on one area like they were doing, and they haven't really tried to bring in anybody on defense because of the philosophy with all their stuff they had. Right. But everybody got old. People left. People retired. They even let people go. So that's just the way it is. You gotta try to reload while you have all these good players too. You got to bring another good player in behind them as well.
Right. And to quote Keith Butler on his new gig, because of course they're trying to. He got some big shoes to fill. And he got a one-liner quote. I'm just going to paraphrase and say,
you got to fill some Jesus sandals.
Exactly. Everybody has me to be putting my own mark on it. I'm not concerned with putting my own mark on it. I'm more concerned with trying to do what our players can and listen to the coaches, their position coaches. And because they know their best, they're in room for a little bit longer than I am. So basically he's saying he's going to – but he's basically saying the quarter.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. So, all right, well – they said Odell Beckham and Victor Cruz avoid the list here, PUP list.
Amazing.
So I mean, I know their Cruz has been returned from a patella tendon surgery, and Beckham had a hamstring injury.
So, this is what kills me. A lot of times, last year especially, everybody in their hamstrings, like everybody, every 2 weeks you heard about somebody. Oh, their hamstring hurts. Their hamstring. All you do is run all freaking day. How the hell does your hamstring hurts? I'm like, that's the one thing on your body that should not be hurting because it should be solely conditioned. Your wide receiver and your hamstring is the thing that's killing you now.
Could it be stretching? Could it be? I mean, I think it's. I don't know what it could be, but it was just weird.
I think it's laziness in the off season is what's making a lot of these guys, and then all of a sudden they come back and they're starting running again, and they're like, oh,
start getting a little tightened up and everything like that.
And I think that's what it is. The off season, people just don't care, and now they're like, oh. Derek McFadden, hamstring. Well, he's always hurt. I guess he's still hurt because he didn't win the Heisman.
Yeah.
That year.
Now this is a
quick shot at John. There.
Yeah. Now this makes for interesting here. Who goes into number one receiver here? Because Beckham rise last year, and with Cruz being out,
it's not even a question who their number one receiver is. Odell Beckham is their number one receiver. Although he's going to get a lot of double teams and stuff this year, like he was getting later on last year. But he's their number one receiver. And the guy's a flipping freak. It all depends on what Eli Manning shows up. That's what it depends upon. You get crazy Eli? Or not so crazy Eli?
Well, they talking about his contract too and everything like that too. So we'll see what Eli shows up this year.
Oh, probably the good Eli will show up this year because he knows he's up for a contract.
All right, Jay Cutler on Brandon Marshall basically went ahead and kind of took the high road, kind of. Said no one likes their ex after a breakup. He said he's fine and been like that as long as I know him. He's an incredible player. He did a lot for us here. Just didn't work out. I could have been the guy that got us shipped out of here as well. Oh, Jay.
Funny part was they dated before.
Yeah.
And they broke up and then
back in Mount High.
They broke up and then they got back together.
Got together. It's like the song Reunited and it feels so good. And I guess the feel so good just kind of died down.
Mm-hmm. They were reunited and feel so good. Now they got bad blood.
What I said. And I don't know, man. I know Jay Cutler's been getting a lot of heat, especially in Chicago, man. Chicago just blasting this guy.
He's been getting a lot of heat because of those meth labs he's been in.
You still like this guy from him looking
He likes to cook the shit, man. He likes to cook it.
Why you like this guy from saying he's like a meth head?
Don't he? That laugh just answering my question.
He has some pictures I look and I'm like, he does.
You look like you're waiting for like teeth to fall out and him to start rotting away.
Oh my God.
Let's say that guy in the corner is like, hey, can I bum a smoke?
So is this the year Jay Cutler actually be productive?
No, because all of his weapons are gone. He's only got one.
Alshon, right?
That's it. He's got Alshon Jeffries to throw the ball to. And Alshon's like, shit, can I get going too? Can I get going too? I want to out here.
Yeah, Cutler to me is he's Dr. Jekyll and Dr. Hyde. If you want to use that analogy, 1 minute he's looking like a productive quarterback, and then the next minute he's doing stuff that make you just want to pull your hair out. You have hair. And
it's because one half he's not smoking nothing. The second half of the game, he's already started getting into his stash when he gets in the locker room.
Oh, man. So this is a little chatter going on around training camp. Now, I know you're planning to go watch your training camp here. What's some things that you want? I know what you want to see personally from. Is there a certain?
Well, I'm not going to see. You're not going to see anything right now because all they're going to do is be in helmets. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to see them when they get in the pads. What I'll be looking forward to is seeing if that offensive line, with all the people that they brought in, has gotten better. Mm-hmm. Which is the number one key for this team is that offensive line getting better. I want to see how Julius Thomas, how they use him, how he fits in with the team, how he fits into the scheme that they're going to want to use him as. Mm-hmm. And I want to see how a couple of these the young wide receivers pick up because there's been a real gigantic buzz around Allen Robinson. I want to see how he kind of picks up the game in his second year and see if they can get a little more separation. And but the key is the offensive line. That's really my main focus.
Yeah.
I know everybody's always skill position, but anybody that knew me said, okay, yeah, we signed Julius Thomas. It means nothing if we don't sign offensive linemen, too.
Mm-hmm.
And then we signed the offensive lineman. I'm like, okay, good. I'm good with the Julius Thomas signing because we got these guys, too.
Right.
And I want to see how our secondary looks with a couple of new additions back there. Mm-hmm. And I need to see how the safety position is going to factor in as well.
Okay. I mean, for me, as a Broncos fan, I'm just kind of...
Y'all just don't want no more offensive linemen hurt.
That, too. That, too. But I'm kind of intrigued to see, because I know you got... I mean, I know man's getting older, and the arm strength is not there as it was the last few years, so... this
hamstring.
Yeah, so this is hamstring. So this is where you really don't have to focus on the run a lot more. And I mean, we did kind of find a diamond in the rough with Anderson here. So hopefully he can continue that until this season.
When has the freaking Denver Broncos not found a running back?
I tell you, they're weird for doing that. But you know,
they piss me off with doing that. I'm like, oh look, a random guy. Oh, he ran for 300 yards.
So, then as far as me, I want to see what we're gonna do with our linebackers here and everything like that, because I know we got, you know, I know the butt of the joke is Shane Ray. We're going to Denver, and I know you and John was on here singing Because I Got Hot song some months before after the draft. So, well, that's about there. But I want to see how our defense.
Mr. Ray, why are you still ordering Papa John's pizza? Don't worry about it.
Yeah, so
bring it to my house.
But I'm gonna keep my eye on it. I'm gonna try to stream a little bit, everything like that. I'm actually, by the way, is trying to 'cause I got a buddy that lives in Kansas. He's been at me that place I can stay, so I might try to fly there for a game this year. So I'm looking to try to go. That's a bucket list thing there. And since he lives like 3 hours away from Denver, I said, you know what, I might consider
Kansas.
it. Mm-hmm.
Where in Kansas?
He lives like in Garden City. So
whatever.
he's like, where he's like, I don't know. I'm not gonna try to put that together. So
I only know where Kansas City is.
Yeah. So he's trying to work on Kansas City. He's
in two places.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
I'm telling you. And then Kansas City is in Missouri.
And Kansas.
It really is in Kansas? So there's two Kansas cities?
Yes, Cortez. Kansas City, Missouri, and Kansas City, Kansas.
See, I didn't know this. I just only knew of Kansas City, Missouri.
Look, I taught you something.
Yeah, see, I
taught you two things today. Moses better than Chipotle,
whoa!
And Kansas City is in two states.
I got 12 people that beg to differ on my Facebook post.
That's 12 yuppies.
But as you can see, we're definitely very excited for football to be back around the corner. Me and Kevin always partake in the Sundays hanging out and going. I didn't know that.
Yes.
See, that's pretty cool. I didn't know. I just only knew of Kansas City, Missouri.
Kansas City, Kansas. And in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, that's what I knew of. So.
You're welcome.
But yeah, we'll definitely we'll touch bases when more camps, as you know, Kevin announced they all are participating in the sessions today, and of course they're going to it. So I'm sure we'll get to hear who they're overhyping and everything like that, and this player looking good, and then we expect them to look good, and what was happened to this player looking good? So, but it's always fun to watch and everything like that. So, you got anything else to add, buddy?
I can't believe you didn't know there was two Kansas Cities.
I did not. I honestly did not know there was two Kansas Cities.
I'm shocked.
I didn't know, man. I mean, I only thought it was one.
I'm shocked and appalled.
Oh man. Well, I learned something new from you today.
There you go.
So there we go. Let's close this bad boy up. We're in 30 minutes, so
glad I can help.
There you go. All right, make sure you stay tuned for Cortez and Kevin throughout the week. I know it's been not weeks. Last one we did was like a week ago, but beforehand it's been a minute. Been quite a while, but you know, just stay tuned with us, and then we'll try to get some more podcasts out, especially with football season on the horizon. Hey, not only pro football, but college football.
Hey!
So I mean, we're all excited over here, man. So
now's when all the preview shows start coming.
So just stay tuned with
Believe
us.
me, we'll be working on those.
Yes, we'll be cranking those out here very shortly. So of course, then we'll have a fantasy football probably talk about some fantasy football stats and have some of the guys on and discuss that. Maybe we'll reach out to John and see where he's been. He's been in the neck of the woods hiding